We're back. We're back. Sam Slade, I'm gonna invite you to intro this video. Yes.
So we just got done watching the best movie of all time. You guys may already know this without me even saying the name because I already said it was the best movie of all time.
It's in the title.
X-Men Origins Wolverine, starring Wolverine as X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Ooh, shiny.
So honestly, review over. I've told you guys it's the best movie of all time, and there's not really much else to say. That's just the best movie of all time. They both got really drunk watching it because that's the best way to watch X-Men Origins Wolverine.
We have a very pure experience because the two of us are I'm hammered. Kevin's a little hammered.
you sloshed, dude.
Flashback to 2009.
There are trailer after trailer after trailer being released for the...
X-Men is arguably the biggest Marvel franchise that we have going on.
Iron Man just came out.
But before this, when you thought Marvel and you thought good, X-Men was kind of the first place you went.
They're top dog, dude.
They're top dog.
Unstoppable.
They got Hugh Jackman. You know, he's like a good actor that's playing a good character.
Patrick Stewart playing a good actor, good character. Ian McKellen.
3 actors, 3 good characters.
4 actors, blah, blah, blah.
It's directed...
X-Men 2.
Going into 2009's X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I was so hyped as a 8th grader. I was, a recently graduated 8th grader watching these trailers being like, this is going to be the greatest movie of all time because X-Men 1 through 3 have been amazing. And this is only a promise of more amazing X-Men
and you're getting new characters like Gambit. Those were huge in the trailers.
Who I loved.
Gambit was almost in earlier X-Men movies because he was such a hugely popular character already.
Gambit and Deadpool, who I didn't care about, but I liked Gambit.
And there was promise of more too. There was going to be an X-Men Origins Magneto.
Oh yeah, the whole thing was like, we're going to now do origin stories for all these characters you like. Except they had completely different actors for all of them. They were barely connected at all.
It's the first in this like saga of Origins movies.
X-Men Origins.
And, yeah, I remember Gambit being one.
I hope there's a Cyclops one.
And I remember at the time being kind of like excited, like, oh, this is like the door that. And I kind of knew about Deadpool at the time, and I remember being kind of excited, like, this is badass. He's got giant swords for hands.
2 guns, 2 swords.
2 guns, 2 swords. That's sweet.
There wasn't one thing about this movie I disliked. So at the time.
At the time. Let's go back to
2009. 15 years ago.
Now I've seen it.
That was thoughts going in.
That was thoughts going in. This is thoughts going out. This is thoughts going out.
Yeah, at the time, I thought it was the most badass movie I've ever seen.
At the time, I was like, well, and now, but at the time I was like, this is the greatest movie ever. This was the best X-Men movie.
This was my favorite film of 2009.
Was it really?
At the time.
At the time?
X-Men Origins Wolverine still is the best movie of 2009. I don't care if you like Inglourious Basterds more. It's not better than X-Men Origins Wolverine.
And Up, and, you know, The Secret in Their Eyes, you know, and District 9, and Moon.
Those are all filth compared to X-Men Origins Wolverine. Did you watch the scene where David North killed those 2 old people?
We get introduced to the greatest character in cinematic history, David North, also known as Agent Zero.
In the end credits.
They call him Agent Zero, but his name is David North.
What are Agent Zero's powers?
He can shoot real good, and he can jump real good.
And he can reload always.
Oh yeah, he can throw his guns up in the air and then reload the guns in the air.
And how is he different from Wade Wilson?
He doesn't have swords, and he doesn't heal. And he's not clever.
Wade Wilson.
Or funny. Or...
That's Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's Ryan Reynolds.
Doesn't have the skin disease that he has.
Yeah, that's...
Whatever he has.
I just had a momentary lapse of...
brain?
Brain, yeah.
Where are you?
I was like...
Lapse of brain.
I have no brain.
Briefly, Sam Slade, explain the plot of X-Men Origins Wolverine to get it over with.
So Wolverine and his brother Victor, who has developed a new power of being in beast mode his entire life. He's always in beast mode.
He's always in beast mode.
They fight and win every war.
Yeah, they're the reason that the Civil War
they
won.
win, and then they get captured because they went to beast mode.
Well, because Victor wanted to go beast mode on some Vietnamese woman.
He was going to beast mode, like I said.
He was going to beast mode.
And I was like, Victor, you're going to beast mode!
Yeah. Logan said, Victor, you're going to beast mode, and tried to stop him in the opening credits, and then Stryker finds them in jail because they try to shoot them in the firing squad, and they found.
Well, they did shoot them in the firing squad.
And Victor was like, wake me when it's over.
Wake me when it's over.
Yeah.
And then Stryker meets them in jail, and he's like, "Oh, I'm looking for people with your set of skills. That being, you're invincible.
You're invincible.
For a secret task force team of super mutants
called X
Force.
Can't
So
escape the
Victor
X's.
and Logan go with his team, and turns out they're bad guys. They want metal because Stryker is obsessed with putting metal in people. That's his one goal. Something I just have never thought about until this most recent time watching it is that, like, his main goal in life is to get adamantium and put it in people.
But not certain people.
His goal is to put adamantium in Wolverine, a man he knows to be disloyal, first off.
Well, not loyal to him.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
He's disloyal to him. Wolverine doesn't even get to say anything to the effect of, like, I'm betraying you or anything like that. He jumps out of the water going like, he does not say anything. Does not say I'm betraying you.
Well, he
he just jumps out of the water, and Stryker's like, David North, shoot him.
Well, I know he was invincible already. Now I literally spent my entire life's work to make him more invincible.
Well,
and I want you to shoot him. I think you can actually get him now.
To be completely fair to this masterpiece, there is a moment right before that when Logan's like, oh, he's alive somehow. And he's in there, and he goes, all right, just go ahead and terminate him anyway for whatever.
No, he says
reason."
wipe his memory.
He said wipe his memory, and then he starts to wake up, and Agent Zero goes, I think he heard you.
Erase his memory.
So
And
you
then
interrupted
he
the plot.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Please continue.
So David North's main goal in life is to put metal in people. So he's got to collect all the.
David North.
Well, that's also
Their goals are aligned. Their
David
goals are
North's
aligned.
greatest.
Logan
Stryker-
finds out that they're bad guys, and he decides to
He
quit,
goes
even
to a
though he's
cabin.
Even though
he
he knew
decides
they were
to
the
quit,
bad
even though
guys.
he is only there because he's being forced to be there because he was in jail.
Yeah.
And he's being forced to fight with them, and they're just gonna let him walk away. Literally, they're like, "We're not gonna just let you walk away."
We can't just let you walk away. Jimmy! Jimmy!
And then he walks away.
He's like, Jimmy!
And they all just stand still as Victor goes, Jimmy!
That's what he says in the
So
film.
he starts a new life in Canada. He marries a girl.
He marries.
He marries a girl in Canada. He becomes a lumberjack, and then David North shows up. They know where he lives, so it's like this whole time. It's like, why didn't they track him down? He should be a prisoner of war,
Right.
And they should be able to.
But they let him go.
So they track him down. David North shoots a cigar out of his mouth.
Remember Agent Zero?
Still shooting first, asking questions later.
Which is one of the best edited moments in any film ever. Clearly taking influence from Blazing Saddles, not realizing it was a joke in Blazing
They
Saddles.
kill his wife, putting Logan on a killing spree rampage, which puts him right in Stryker's trap to put metal in him. That's exactly what Stryker was.
Yeah, Stryker was just waiting for the
wants to
perfect
make him
moment.
invincible.
He's like, Stryker, tell me where Victor is. And then Stryker goes, you can't kill Victor unless you have metal in you.
And he goes, okay.
And he goes, you're right. David North tries to kill him again. He finds a...
He's shocked when his regular guns don't work.
He finds a farm with a nice farm couple.
Old farmer man, the first
Yep.
of it, truest
Of many, truest old farmer man.
Yeah, in
well,
Logan's
because
life.
he also finds old farmer man in Logan.
In Logan.
Yeah.
But that's not truest old farmer man.
And then David North kills him, obviously. It was the best shot of all time, despite the fact that he kills the two farmers and doesn't hit Logan once.
Doesn't hit Logan once despite being a crack shot.
Yes.
Logan's chasing after David North with a
is a
motorcycle.
motorcycle,
David North
yeah.
goes, come get me. And he jumps into the helicopter.
He goes,
And then a sick-ass fight
Yeah.
happens between Logan and a helicopter. He kills all of them with his new claws.
he kills
Very
all
cool.
of them with his new claws. That's very cool.
It's very cool. You see a lot of cool trailer shots where he goes, shh, shh.
He goes slow motion on that.
All
Like,
over the over the helicopter.
and it's all sweet the
And
entire
David
time.
North still is somehow confident, even though he is like burning to death on the side of the road. He's like, "Isn't it funny how people die around you, Logan?" And then he's like, "I was gonna let you live."
And then
But now I'm gonna kill
Now I'm
you,
gonna kill
David
you,
North.
Now he's on more revenge. He wants to kill Victor.
It's
and
revenge.
Stryker because Stryker put metal in his body.
And he was
He's
like,
upset about this.
and he's like, God damn it, Stryker.
Before
I'm
he
gonna-"
knows that Victor and Stryker are working together,
Which he doesn't know yet.
the audience is let know that they are working together. They cut to a scene where he captures Cyclops.
Truest Cyclops.
And they're like, oh wait,
best
I guess
Cyclops.
Stryker and Victor are working together.
Yes.
You know what? Victor will be with Stryker.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Oh, okay, cool.
And he goes, you promised me the adamantium. He's like, that's not my thing. I don't love putting adamantium in people.
I'm not gonna put adamantium into you.
And he's like, please,
Bro,
it's your one thing.
He likes doing it to people that don't want it. Like he doesn't like the fact that Sabretooth wants it really bad.
This is literally true.
He's kind of like, it's kind of gross.
It's not as good if you want it.
It reminds him of the flaws that he has. He's like,
yes,
that's gross.
That's
I'm not putting
weird.
metal in you.
I'm not putting metal in you at all.
Except when you don't want it. I'm gonna put metal in you. On the side, they're rounding up a bunch of mutants. While that's happening, Wolverine goes up to Will.i.am and Blob, and he says, I need help finding Stryker. He's like,
yeah, so he's like, oh, you need information, right, from Blob. And
Blob
so,
will only give you information if you hit him.
If you hit
and if you call him Blob.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't mention his weight.
Fred Dukes? That looks like the creature that ate Fred Dukes.
Hey, be nice, man.
So he goes, come on, bub, for old time's sake, and he says,
Come on, bub, for old time's sake, huh?
Did you just call me Blob?
did you just call me Blob? And then he goes, he hits him out of the ring. And then he tells him everything.
To go to the island, you gotta find Gambit. He's been to the island and he can fly.
Remy LeBeau, you gotta find Gambit.
So they find Gambit, and Gambit says, do I owe you money?
And he says no, and he says, then Remy LeBeau I am. Which is, as we know, a great line.
Everything with Gambit is great. You can't deny.
You can't deny. It is.
Can't deny.
It's not great. It's perfect. So boom, height of drama. Also, Victor shows up looking for Gambit. I think.
Is he not just looking for Wolverine?
I have no idea what he's looking for.
Okay, he's looking for John Wraith. Okay,
Oh, he is.
Why is he looking for John Wraith?
DNA.
No, yeah, he needs his DNA, his teleporting power.
Well, how does he know that John Wraith is where Gambit is?
Unclear.
It makes no sense, actually. If he wants to find Wolverine, apparently he just has to go there because it was written that way. So Victor and Logan fight each other, and Victor goes, ooh, shiny, which is the best line in the movie.
Ooh, shiny.
Wolverine also defeats Gambit in this scene.
2 years I rotting in that hole and I ain't never gonna.
And Gambit constantly comes back to tell him that he's not going back to the island, even though he could just run away. You know what? They're fighting. I could easily escape. I'm just gonna hit him again, just so they know that I'm not going back to the island.
These two guys don't care about me at all.
So I'm just going to hit him with my powerful stick, and
they go to the island.
So they go to the island, and he goes, "What? Are you afraid of flying?"
This is where the movie turns upside down, dude, because
It
that is when you
becomes
find
great.
Yes,
it goes
that's when
from fantastic to masterpiece.
It's from perfect to mega perfect. Wolverine finds out that his wife is alive, and she was just covered in ketchup.
Citizen Kane wishes that it could have a ketchup plot twist as good.
Yes. David Benioff writes the greatest dialogue he's ever written, and he's like, I was the fool that got played. I wasn't the Wolverine the whole time.
I thought you were the moon and I was your Wolverine. But you're the trickster, aren't you? I'm just the fool who got played.
And I'm the fool that got played.
And
she's
then-
like, that wasn't part of the story.
And David Benioff took himself to Red Lobster.
David Benioff was like, I'm going to Red
He was
Lobster.
like, I wrote the best line ever. He's fucking shoving the cheddar biscuits
He
into his
just gave
mouth.
himself a blowjob, dude. So he decides to leave, and then he hears his wife being in danger, and then he decides he still loves his wife, goes back, and fights Victor. And tackles him out a window.
He knocks him out. He's like, I've been wanting to kill you this whole movie,
And then,
but I won't.
and then Wolverine
Hits him.
frees all of the other mutants.
And he goes,
Deadpool shows up.
Truest Deadpool.
Truest Deadpool.
Shows up with his mouth stitched together.
This is where it's really cool. He doesn't have swords that he swings around with his hands. He has swords that come out of his
hands
arms.
are swords.
And it doesn't make any sense because like a sword blade is like this long, right? It comes out of his arm this way. And
You
it's
never
like this-
see him bend his arm.
Before he extends it, he would have to walk like this.
Yeah, he'd have to walk up like this for them to fit.
Perfect.
So he has to fight Deadpool. In the meantime, his boy, Victor, changes his mind and he's like, we can never be done, Jimmy, we're brothers and I'm going to fight with you to fight Deadpool.
Yep, that's what he says.
Because I want to free these people that I literally captured myself.
With my saber-tooth powers.
With my saber-tooth powers, I captured all these mutants and now
I went beast mode, I captured all these people, but now Jimmy,
But you know what, beast mode's in my rear view.
Beast mode, I'm never going
I'm not
beast
going
mode
beast
again.
mode anymore.
That's why in X-Men 1, when we fight again,
He's only beast mode. He can't even talk anymore, he's so
Can't
beast
even
mode.
talk anymore. So beast mode.
They defeat Deadpool, but how do they defeat Deadpool?
they go back to
They go
back.
back to back.
They go
back to back.
Back to back!
And they defeat Deadpool by cutting his head off. Victor
can-
says, we can never be done, Jimmy, we're brothers. And then he jumps off the thing.
We can never be done, Jimmy. We're brothers.
Meanwhile, Stryker is having a conversation with his assistant or something, and he's like, in the last scene I had this gun, the guy that made adamantium bullets said that this would kill Wolf. And she's like, that's not going to actually kill him because the plot wouldn't. Even though
That
the guy
they
said
would
for
in
no
another
reason
scene.
where did he get off to know that?
It's like, oh, what could kill someone with an adamantium skull? Adamantium bullet. But here's the problem with that. For most of the movie, he's had a regular skull, and lead bullets had gone through there.
Yes.
And lead
he was literally
bullets-
firing squatted, which I guarantee you a bullet went through his head at some point.
A lead bullet goes through your brain, right? It does a lot of damage. It fucks your brain up.
I'm sure it would.
Well, it's like, what is it doing different now that a regular bullet couldn't have done to him before he had adamantium?
David Benioff wrote this scene after. That's what the difference is.
The mechanics of his brain and his regeneration still work the same regardless of what his skeleton is made out of and regardless of what metal the bullet is made out of. If he just lost his memory from the adamantium infusion process, that would make more sense to me.
Well, then the plot wouldn't happen.
You could have the plot happen before it.
Is that
That's what's called writing a script.
wait,
is you
what's
can,
called writing a
is you
plot?
can choose when things happen.
So, Stryker decides now that the bullets, instead of killing him, will make his memory go away.
You can't stop him, even with that.
His assistant says, that's not going to work, and he says,
And he goes,
yeah,
"It's
he'll
okay."
heal.
Brain may heal. But his memories won't grow back.
But his memories won't, and she goes, why would that be?
And she goes, okay, so why do you want to do that?
And then he just runs out the door. Blasts Wolverine right in the face, and it
Yep.
works. He forgets everything.
He could just shoot him in the
Convincing.
heart. Why does he shoot him in the heart?
Wait, what do you mean?
He has the adamantium bullets, which they say will most likely kill him, but he's like, if I shoot him in the head for sure. That way he'll forget it, he'll lose his memory.
Well, no, the heart's not going to do anything.
The heart doesn't do anything
Because
either.
the brain's healing the heart. The brain is what's healing things.
That's my problem, is that no matter what you shoot him with, he will heal from it. The adamantium has no special property that stops the healing,
In the comics, it does have special properties, actually.
Does it increase his healing factor, or is it just that he's so impenetrable that he has less to heal?
It magnifies that he was not as invincible before. Like, he could die, he had a healing factor. Now he has a healing factor and he's more invincible, and it's a lot faster.
But what would an adamantium bullet do to negate that?
It's the same thing that's keeping him alive.
It's not keeping him alive. He already
Making
had
him stronger.
In the comics, if you stab Wolverine with something adamantium, he dies.
Why?
They wrote it in the comics. That's what they wrote.
Okay, so it's dumb even in the comics. Okay.
No,
I don't remember that in the
No,
comics.
I'm just saying that is what it is in the comics. That's what they have to
Adamantium's the only
work
thing
with.
that can penetrate his adamantium. So if you're going to kill him, you have to penetrate his adamantium.
I just wanted to confirm that it's dumb either way.
It's dumb either
it makes
way.
no sense.
But they did not need to make it as dumb as they did.
Obviously, it's perfect. I love every second of it. I've probably seen it like 100 times.
I've seen it a lot. I was quoting along with it in the Patreon review, which you can
And
watch.
if you're mad commenting on here and saying they ruined Deadpool and the effects are bad, you're a crybaby and I hate you.
It was my favorite film of 2009. It was actually, for a short period, it was my third favorite film of all time.
Oh my god.
X-Men Origins Wolverine is my favorite movie now. I'm talking current day. This is July 3rd.
2024.
2024.
My
Wow.
God.
I got a feeling this is my favorite X-Men film. I'm not joking. They're laughing like it's a joke.
It's not a joke. It's an awesome movie.
I'm laughing in agreement.
I've seen this one more than any other X-Men movie.
This is my favorite X-Men movie. It is up there for me if we're going to count like movies that are not technically good, but are enjoyable despite like a list of flaws. It is up there with
Some would say only flaws.
It is up there with Troll 2, top 5 of like movies that are so bad that they're enjoyable. Even the dumbest parts, I'm
So
just sitting
quotable.
there and laughing and quoting along every single line.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh, shiny. It's an endlessly enjoyable film for me.
So final thoughts on X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Why couldn't Sabretooth get the adamantium?
This is a common misconception. Truest Stryker in the movie, he explains that he wouldn't survive the procedure.
Why?
I just told you.
But yeah, those are my final thoughts. 12 out of 12, obviously. Easiest 12 out of 12 I've ever given.
It's a perfect film. It's the best film we've ever reviewed on this channel.
Oh, easily.
And that's why I give it an 8 out of 10. Easily.
Wow.
It is the easiest 8 out of 10 I've ever given.
Not only is this a perfect 12 out of 12, but it is the best objective X-Men film.
Well, I can agree with that.
Did anyone ever think that it wouldn't be a 12 out of 10?
I mean, that's a perfect score. That's a positive score.
Go see
And I
X-Men
agree, it is
Origins
the best
Wolverine.
film that we've ever reviewed on this channel. It is such a rare opportunity that we've gotten to review a film that we've all loved as long as this. Literally, since day one, I remember seeing it in the theater, I thought it was badass, and not a single moment since then have I thought that this movie sucked cock.
It has aged like a fine cheese.
It's as good as a cheese that you leave out for 15 years.
Like a fine cheese, dude. A fine cheese. It's aged like a fine cheese.
Put that on the box, dude.
Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this review, there is a special bonus companion video on our Patreon.
If you want to listen to them get drunk while watching X-Men Origins Wolverine.
We did do that.
We did do that.
So yeah, if you want that exclusive content, go to our Patreon.
Go to our Patreon. It's a fun time. We kind of just say the same jokes that we just said in this video, but
Less
longer.
filters.
There's more of them.
Well, there's more of them, but there's also less structure to them. We don't edit it as
The structure's the movie.
This is the first time in a very long time that we've watched an old movie. Previously, the last couple years, we've focused on recently released movies. It's the first time we've kind of dipped our toes into a older movie. So if there's an older movie that you guys think that you'd like to see us cover, put it in the comments, because this was a fun trip down memory lane for the three of us. This is an old movie that we all love, and I hope
maybe
that
we'll
comes
review
across.
the Phantom Menace or something.